Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. In this week's video I'm going to be talking about participial adjectives, and these are adjectives that typically finish with ed or ing, as in most past participles and present participles. And the question that a lot of people who are learning the English language typically have is, what is the difference between a word like bored and a word like boring, interested and interesting, amazed and amazing? And I'm going to be answering that question in a moment, but first, what they are not. A lot of people, when they see the ed endings and the ing endings, they assume it has something to do with tense. So for example, that you use some of them to describe situations in the past, and you use maybe the other form to describe situations in the continuous tenses or something like that. Well, remember that in this context, these words are not verbs, they are adjectives. And so adjectives don't have a tense, so it has nothing to do with that. An adjective doesn't change whether I'm describing a situation in the past, the present, or the future. Rather, these adjectives typically have something to do with some kind of emotion or feeling. So if you think about something like amazed, amazing, that's something that you feel. Or bored, boring, it's the same thing. Interested, interesting, it's some kind of feeling or emotion. And so we use the ed form of the adjective to describe the person who is actually feeling that particular emotion, who is experiencing that particular feeling. So for example, in the first example, let's imagine that today I had a really long day at work and I am so tired now. So again, I am using the ed form of the adjective tired because I am describing myself, and in this particular example I am the one that is feeling really low on energy. I am feeling this particular emotion or feeling. I am tired. In the second example, let's imagine that last year I went to Peru, and it was an incredible city. I saw so many incredible things. And in particular, I was amazed by all the sights, especially Machu Picchu. So again, I use the ed form of the adjective amazed because again, I am describing myself, and in this particular example, I am the one that experienced this feeling of amazement. I was feeling this emotion, so we use the ed form, amazed. I was amazed by all the sights. In the next example, let's imagine that I went to the movie theater last week, and the only problem was that there was a couple in the audience that was speaking the whole time. And everyone in the movie theater, everyone else, was really annoyed by them. So again, I use the ed form of the adjective annoyed to describe the rest of the audience because they were feeling this frustration, they were feeling annoyed, they were experiencing this particular feeling. So, ed, annoyed. And in the final example, let's imagine that yesterday I went to the park with my little Chihuahua dog, and we were in the park, but there was another dog, a big, scary dog. And so my little Chihuahua was frightened by the other dog. So again, here I am describing the Chihuahua, my dog, and my dog was experiencing this fear, so it was frightened with ed. Now, notice that in the definition I said that ed adjectives describe the person that is experiencing a particular feeling or emotion. Well, in the last example, I am using it to describe my dog. So we can describe animals in some particular cases as they too can have feelings or emotions. However, because of the definition, we would never really use this form of the adjective to describe non-living things, because they don't experience feelings or emotions. So it is basically strictly for people or other living things. The ing form of an adjective, on the other hand, can be used for people, animals, or things, but only if they are, in that particular example or that particular situation, the reason for a particular emotion or feeling. So if they are the cause of a feeling or emotion. So for example, in the first sentence, I said that I am really tired today because of work. But specifically, I had a project to finish, and it was a really long project, and it was a really tiring project. So here I use the ing form of the adjective, tiring, to describe the project, because the project is the reason that I was experiencing this particular feeling. Similarly, in the second example, I said that when I went to Peru, I was amazed by all the sights. And well, Peru is an amazing country, so it's no surprise. And so here I use the ing form of the adjective, amazing, an amazing place, because Peru is the reason that I and other tourists who visit the country feel this sense of wonder, this feeling of amazement. So, an amazing place. In the next example, with the movie theater, remember that there was a couple in the movie theater that was talking the whole time during the movie. And so they were really annoying. They were I am describing them, and they are the reason that everybody else in the movie theater was feeling really annoyed. So they are annoying with ing. And in the final example, my little Chihuahua dog was frightened in the park yesterday because of the other big dog. And well, it was a big, scary dog. It was a really big, frightening dog. So now I use the ing form of the adjective to describe the other dog, because it was the reason that my dog was experiencing fear, that it was frightened. It was a big, frightening dog. And basically that is a difference between the ing form of the adjectives, which describe the reason or the cause that somebody feels a particular emotion or feeling, and the ed form of the adjectives, which describes the person or the animal that is actually experiencing that particular feeling or emotion.